Hi, I'm Edison Picard. You may remember me from such videos as the one immediately before this one. If not, I suggest you go back and watch, otherwise this ain't gonna make a lick of sense. Last time, I promised we'd discuss the first flush diverter, and we will in due time. And I don't mean due time like my mama's brother Uncle Vernon. He did time in Pocatello Women's Prison in Idaho. He's in there 6 months before they caught him. To this day, he's still the only person in Idaho history to break into a prison. No, I mean due time, as in we'll get there. But first, I gotta paint the wood behind where I'm gonna put the flush diverter. My brother-in-law's a painter, and he was supposed to come paint the cabin for me. But it's his anniversary, so him and my brother are spending it in Kokomo. Not that place the Beach Boys sung about, but a real place almost just as magical, Kokomo, Indiana. They want to go to the Elwood Haynes Museum for some reason, but it's got to be done. And Eddie T don't wait around for painters to sober up from vacation just so they can get drunk enough to go back to work. I channeled the ghost of Bob Ross from the depths of hell to inspire me to huff some happy little paint and push on through. I picked up this gallon of paint where you'd find any other Lowe's Valspar paint, from a dumpster behind Home Depot. Now you can tell I ain't no painter. My steady hand and ability to paint this small patch without a cigarette break is a dead giveaway. But despite my lack of credentials, I think it'll hold up to the elements just fine. Years, maybe even less. At least until the rest of the place gets painted. I ain't even got a show on PBS, but I think I've done a pretty good job. I'm using some metal conduit clamps to hold the diverter to the building, so I need to cut some pressure treated blocks to mount them to. This means getting out the miter saw and firing up the generator, a chore all its own. That generator's something else. Maybe we talk about it in a future video. But for now, we gotta get these blocks mounted so we can get the clamps up, strap this diverter to the build. Uncle Cleroy had Clem put the gutter up before I even got to place. but he never finished the system before he went away on his intervention. And at long last, here's the flush diverter. What's a flush diverter, you might ask? Good question. Up on your roof, you've got pollen and bird poop and leaves, maybe a dead squirrel. Heck, they could even be a homeless person up there if you live in the city. Yuck, you don't want none of that in your water tank. So the first rain to fall washes all that mess into the diverter. Eventually, it fills up this chamber, and a simple valve mechanism blocks it off and diverts the clean rainwater to the big tank. Pretty simple if you ask me. I use 1 5/8 inch coated deck screws to hold these blocks to the side of the building. Damn. The clamps to hold the flush diverter are usually used for electrical. These are Mineralac size number 9 for 4-inch conduit. Earlier I mentioned a simple valve to divert the water into the storage tank once the flush chamber's full. It's just a Sam's purified 20-ounce drinking water bottle. It has to be Sam's or else I'll come to your house and kill you. Pretty much any bottle will do. I thought about using a plastic ball like from the Chuck E. Cheese ball pit, but I ain't allowed back into one near me. Apparently they frown upon fighting 8-year-olds who cut in line at the whack-a-mole game. Told me to behave like an adult. I ain't the one who cut in line. But that's days in the past now. Anyways, once the flush chamber gets full, the bottle floats to the top and blocks the chamber, allowing water to flow into the tank. Them conduit clamps do a pretty good job holding the flush diverter to the building. Makes it easy to put it on and take it off as well. I ain't built a porch on the cabin yet, but when I do, there's gonna be a gutter on the front to catch that water too. I used a T on top of the diverter so I'd have a place to connect that pipe in the future. Let's just hope future me's smart enough to realize it. There's also a clean out on the bottom to get all the squirrel nuts and leaves out from time to time. A tiny hole drilled in the cap allows the water to leak slowly out. Be ready for the next rain. The second T is the outlet to take water to the storage tank. That pipe needs strapped too, and that means painting the wood behind the mountain blocks. I use more of that Valspar paint, and I reckon it'll work okay. At least the spirit of Bob Ross that I summoned said it would. But on second thought, that Ouija board was made in China, so it may not even have been him. Well, I got the blocks and clamps put up, but I reckon that'll be all I do for now. I ran out of 2-inch pipe to get all the way to the tank, and there's a storm a-coming, so it'll be a few days before I come back out. Next time, I'll finish the pipe, paint the tank, and stretch some of Claudine's pantyhose over the tank hole to catch anything that gets by the flush diverter. Y'all subscribe and check back in. Thanks for watching Off Grid Made Difficult.